Have you ever stopped to think about the possibility that the universe you see around you, everything you know, experience, and live through might be just one version of a much larger reality? What if there isn't just a single, fixed universe, but instead countless universes existing side by side? This idea, once relegated to science fiction stories and wild speculation, has increasingly found a foothold in serious scientific theory and technological research. The notion that parallel universes, so-called multiverses, exist is now being explored by some of the brightest minds in physics, cosmology, and quantum technology. At the heart of this idea is a branch of physics known as quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics is the science that deals with the behavior of particles at the tiniest scales imaginable. Subatomic particles like electrons and photons. At this microscopic level, the world behaves in ways that defy everyday common sense. Particles can exist in multiple states at once, called superposition, and they can become instantaneously connected with others, no matter how far apart, through a process called entanglement. One of the most famous interpretations of quantum mechanics, proposed in the 1950s by physicist Hugh Everett, is the many worlds interpretation. Unlike classical physics, where an event happens in one specific way, the many worlds theory suggests that every possible outcome of every decision or random event actually happens, but in separate, branching universes. Imagine that when you make a choice, like deciding whether to have coffee or tea in the morning, the universe splits. In one version, you choose coffee. In another, you choose tea. Both realities continue independently, each hosting a version of you living a different life. This might sound like science fiction, but it's one of the most serious ways physicists attempt to solve some of the biggest puzzles in the quantum world, such as why particles seem to behave probabilistically until observed, and how reality is affected by measurement. The many-world interpretation removes the mystery by proposing that all possible realities exist simultaneously. As mind-bending as this is, it has profound implications for our understanding of who we are and what our place is in the cosmos. If multiple versions of ourselves exist in parallel universes, the next question becomes, can these realities interact? Can we, in some way, reach across these divides and connect with our other selves? These questions, while direct contact with parallel universes remains unproven, several areas of research hint at how this might someday be possible. For example, quantum entanglement shows us that particles separated by huge distances can instantaneously affect each other's states. Some theorists speculate that a similar mechanism might allow information to pass between universes. This leads us to the realm of emerging technologies that might one day help us bridge these cosmic gaps. Quantum computing is one such technology that operates on the principles of superposition and entanglement, allowing computers to perform calculations at speeds unimaginable with classical computers. Some scientists suggest that quantum computers could be the key to detecting faint signals or anomalies caused by other universes. Furthermore, particle accelerators, like the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland, smash particles together at extremely high energies, recreating conditions close to the Big Bang. Through these experiments, scientists look for evidence of extra dimensions or parallel worlds, discovering phenomena that can't be explained by our current model might be clues pointing to a multiverse. Another fascinating line of research involves the cosmic microwave background radiation, the afterglow of the Big Bang that fills the universe. Scientists carefully study this ancient light for irregular patterns that could indicate collisions or interactions between our universe and others. Think of it as cosmic scars left behind by universes bumping into each other. Beyond physics and astronomy, neuroscientists and psychologists have begun to explore the idea that human consciousness might not be confined to a single timeline. While controversial, some studies propose that consciousness might be capable of interacting with parallel realities at subtle levels, possibly explaining phenomena such as déjà vu, intuition, or even shared dreams. Technological tools like brain imaging, neurofeedback, and virtual reality are advancing rapidly, giving us new ways to explore consciousness. These developments might open doors to understanding if and how our minds could access information beyond our familiar reality. So, when you experience a sudden flash of insight, an unexplained feeling of familiarity, or a moment where the world seems slightly off, remember that these might not be random. They could be whispers from the multiverse, signals from a parallel version of you, or a hint that science and technology are on the verge of revealing far more about the universe than we ever imagined. This journey into the multiverse is one of the most exciting frontiers of modern science, a blend of physics, technology, and the human experience. The more we learn, the closer we get to answering some of the most profound questions. Are we alone? Is this reality the only one? And could your parallel self be trying to reach you? Science is a powerful tool. It helps us make sense of the universe by turning the unknown into the known through experiments, observations, and theories. Yet, even with all our advancements, some mysteries still baffle us. One such mystery involves the strange sensations and experiences that many people report, moments of déjà vu, vivid dreams, intuition, and patterns that seem to defy chance. Increasingly, scientists are exploring whether these phenomena might be linked to the concept of parallel universes, and whether they could be signs of communication or connection with our alternate selves. Take déjà vu. For example, that sudden and intense feeling that you've lived through a moment before is surprisingly common. Around 60 to 70% of people experience it at least once. For decades, it was mostly dismissed as a simple glitch in the brain or a misfire in memory processing. But recent research hints at more complex explanations. Some neuroscientists propose that déjà vu could occur when your brain's memory systems momentarily overlap or misalign. But others take it a step further. They wonder if déjà vu might actually be a brief, subconscious crossing with a parallel version of yourself experiencing the same moment on a slightly different timeline. To understand how this could be possible, we need to look at the brain's incredible complexity. Our brains process an enormous amount of information every second: sensory, data, emotions, memories, and more. When something unexpected happens, your brain searches for connections to make sense of it. If, in some way, your consciousness taps into a parallel reality, even for a fraction of a second, it might trigger this eerie sensation of familiarity that feels like déjà vu. Alongside déjà vu, scientists have noticed another intriguing phenomenon: recurring symbols and patterns. For example, some people repeatedly notice specific numbers, words, or images showing up in their daily lives in ways that seem too deliberate to be random. This is sometimes called epiphania, the brain's natural tendency to find meaning in random information. However, within the context of parallel universes, these recurring patterns could be something more. They might be subtle signals or signposts from alternate versions of ourselves, trying to communicate or guide us. Imagine seeing the same unusual number repeatedly on clocks, license plates, receipts, or even in dreams. Some researchers suggest that this could be a way your parallel self sends messages or warnings about future events or decisions. While science hasn't definitively proven this yet, these experiences inspire curiosity and further investigation into how information might cross between realities. Dreams offer a fascinating window into this mystery. Many people have vivid dreams that feel more real than waking life, some involving places, people, or events they've never encountered before. Others report dreams where they interact with different versions of themselves or glimpse possible futures. Scientists studying sleep and consciousness have begun to theorize that dreams might be moments when our minds access parallel dimensions. While traditional neuroscience explains dreams as the brain's way to process emotions and memories, The idea that dreams might also serve as portals or communication channels with alternate selves is gaining traction. Lucid dreaming, a state where you become aware that you're dreaming and can control the dream's flow, has especially caught the attention of researchers. Some experiments show that lucid dreamers can perform specific mental tasks or signals inside dreams, making it a possible tool for exploring parallel realities consciously. Technology is even being developed to induce or enhance lucid dreaming, potentially offering a new way to explore the multiverse from within the mind. Intuition is another puzzling experience that many people describe as knowing something without understanding how. You might call it a gut feeling or an inner voice that guides decisions. Recent studies in neuroscience reveal that intuition is often the brain processing information beneath conscious awareness, drawing from experience and subtle environmental cues. But could some of this intuition be more than just unconscious processing? Some scientists and philosophers speculate that it might be influenced by interactions with parallel selves who have already navigated similar paths. Imagine your parallel self has made a choice you're facing right now and is sending a nudge to help you avoid mistakes or take advantage of opportunities. This idea might sound like science fiction, but it highlights how technology and science are pushing the boundaries of what we understand about consciousness and information transfer. Brain-computer interfaces and neurofeedback devices are now allowing us to measure and influence brain states with unprecedented precision, possibly opening doors to deeper connections between minds and maybe between realities. From a technological perspective, quantum computing again plays a starring role here. Qubits, the fundamental units of quantum computers, can exist in multiple states simultaneously, much like particles in quantum superposition. Scientists believe that as quantum computing matures, it may allow us to detect subtle noise or signals from other universes or dimensions embedded in the quantum fabric of reality. Imagine a future where data from your quantum computer reveals a message from your parallel self encoded in the probabilities of quantum states. Even astronomy and cosmology provide hints that interactions between universes could leave detectable traces. Scientists analyze cosmic background radiation, the faint glow left over from the universe's birth, to find anomalies that might be evidence of universes colliding or influencing each other. These cosmic bruises would represent direct physical contact points between parallel worlds, supporting the possibility that universes aren't entirely isolated. While much of this remains theoretical, the convergence of neuroscience, quantum physics, and cutting-edge technology is gradually turning the concept of communication between parallel selves from fantasy to a scientific frontier. Each new discovery brings us closer to understanding whether those strange, unexplained moments in your life are just coincidences or messages from a parallel you trying to reach out. So, next time you feel a sudden flash of recognition, experience an intense dream, or get a gut feeling you can't explain, remember that science suggests these might be more than just random events. They could be signals, subtle signs of a deeper, hidden connection linking you to another version of yourself across the vast multiverse. The idea that parallel versions of ourselves exist in multiple realities is one of the most fascinating frontiers of science and technology today. But knowing they might exist is just the beginning. The real question is, how can we bridge the gap between these worlds? How can we, in our current reality, become more aware, more connected, and perhaps even communicate with our parallel selves? Surprisingly, modern technology combined with intentional mental practices might bring us closer to this extraordinary possibility than ever before. Let's start with virtual reality, or VARA, technology that's rapidly evolving and transforming how we experience the world. Virtual reality immerses users in completely digital environments, tricking the brain into perceiving these spaces as real. At first glance, VR might seem unrelated to parallel universes, but it actually offers an intriguing way to explore the concept. Imagine using VR to simulate alternate life choices or realities, essentially creating personal parallel experiences you can live through in a controlled setting. VR can help expand your mind's capacity to envision multiple possibilities, building empathy for your alternate selves and sparking deeper awareness of parallel realities. But VR is only the beginning. Neurotechnology, the science and tech focused on understanding and interfacing, with the brains advancing at a breathtaking pace. Devices that monitor brainwaves, stimulate neural circuits, and provide real-time feedback are no longer science fiction. These tools can alter brain states, helping people reach deep meditative or trance-like conditions where the usual boundaries of conscious thought begin to blur. In these altered states, some practitioners report experiences of out-of-body sensations or glimpses into other dimensions, which may be windows into parallel realities. Mindfulness and meditation techniques complement these technologies beautifully. By quieting the mind and tuning into the present moment, you create a fertile ground for subtle insights and intuitive knowledge to surface. Many spiritual traditions have long spoken of accessing other planes of existence through meditation. Modern neuroscience is beginning to validate these experiences as genuine shifts in brain activity. When combined with neurofeedback devices, meditation can become a tool to intentionally explore and perhaps even influence how consciousness interacts with dimensions beyond our usual perception. Consider the emerging field of brain-computer interfaces. BCs. These devices connect the brain directly to computers, allowing thought-controlled actions and providing a two-way channel for information flow. Companies and research labs are developing BCs that could eventually decode complex neural patterns, opening doors to entirely new forms of communication. Imagine a future where BCs enable us to send messages not only between human minds, but potentially across dimensions, sharing thoughts or data with parallel selves. Quantum technologies are poised to revolutionize this journey even further. Entanglement, where particles remain connected regardless of distance, offers a model for how communication might occur across realities. Quantum sensors, quantum cryptography, and advanced quantum computers might detect or harness faint signals from parallel universes. This isn't mere speculation. Scientists worldwide are designing experiments to test whether information leakage between universes exists, and whether it can be captured, decoded, or even sent intentionally. Artificial intelligence, AI, also plays a crucial role here. AI's ability to analyze massive datasets and detect subtle patterns can be applied to signals that might otherwise appear as random noise. For example, if a quantum sensor picks up anomalous data that hints at communication from another universe, AI algorithms could help interpret it, identifying meaningful messages or guidance. AI could even assist in developing new mental interfaces or simulations that enhance our ability to explore multiversal connections. While the technologies continue to develop, your mindset is equally important. Being open to possibilities beyond current scientific consensus is essential to pioneering new discoveries. Many breakthroughs in science have come from questioning the obvious and imagining the impossible. Cultivating curiosity, skepticism, balanced with openness, and a willingness to explore inner experiences expands the horizon for what we might achieve. Practicing journaling, redocument dreams, intuitions, or unusual experiences can reveal patterns that hint at connections with parallel selves. Keeping track of moments of déjà vu, synchronicities, or unexpected insights sharpens your awareness and helps you recognize when something extraordinary is happening. This active engagement encourages a dialogue between your conscious mind and the deeper mysteries of existence. Communities and research groups focused on consciousness exploration, quantum physics, and multiverse theories provide support and shared knowledge for those interested in these phenomena. Participating in such communities opens doors to collective learning and experimentation, accelerating progress and discovery. It's also important to approach this journey with patience and balance. While the allure of connecting with parallel selves can be powerful, it's vital to ground yourself in reality and avoid getting lost in fantasy or unverified claims. Scientific inquiry thrives on rigorous evidence and reproducibility. So integrating personal experiences with empirical research leads to the most meaningful advances. Looking ahead, the future of science and technology promises exciting breakthroughs. As quantum computers become more powerful, neurotechnology more refined, and AI more sophisticated, the tools to explore and possibly communicate across parallel realities will improve dramatically. These advancements might redefine our understanding of identity, consciousness, and the universe itself. Imagine a world where your decisions are informed not only by your own experiences, but also by insights from your parallel selves versions of you who have already lived through the consequences of choices you face today. This expanded awareness could revolutionize problem-solving, creativity, and personal growth. In conclusion, the bridge between science fiction and science fact is narrowing. The concept of parallel selves reaching out to one another isn't just a captivating story anymore. It's becoming a scientific possibility supported by emerging technologies and expanding understanding of consciousness. By embracing new tools, cultivating awareness, and staying curious, you open yourself to a deeper connection with the multiverse and, perhaps, a new chapter in human experience.